Louisiana Radio Network News, I'm Jeff Palermo. Two brothers are accused of being the gunman in a mass shooting that wounded 20 people during a second-line Mother's Day parade in New Orleans. 19-year-old Aiken Scott and 24-year-old Sean Scott are each facing 20 counts of attempted second-degree murder. District Attorney Leon Canizero says they will prosecute these men to the fullest extent of the law.
Our job right now is to make sure that we have the very best case possible, bring that case to court, obtain a conviction, and ask the judge to impose sentences which will keep these individuals off the streets for the rest of their lives.
Authorities also announced the arrest of 4 other individuals for harboring Aiken Scott, who had his bond set at $10 million. Much of North Louisiana is under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. There have been reports of damage in Cattle Parish where strong winds knocked down signs on I-20 and destroyed some sheds. Louisiana State Police are investigating a fatal accident involving teenagers who were not buckled up this morning. Michelle Southern has the details.
Out of Calcasieu Parish, LSP spokesman Sergeant James Anderson says a car that was hit after allegedly running a stop sign was carrying 3 18-year-old girls from Elton who were not wearing their seatbelt.
One of them died and 2 others are in critical condition.
Anderson says impairment is suspected to be a factor in the crash that happened just before 7 a.m. Thursday. He says accidents with death and injury involving people who were not wearing their seatbelts have become a major problem.
Not just with teenagers, but all different age groups.
The crash remains under investigation and charges are pending.
The State House of Representatives approves legislation that would give law enforcement the ability to write tickets if they catch a person reading or posting to a social network site. Plaquemine Representative Karen St. Germain.
This simply closes a loophole about Facebook and tweeting while you are in the car.
The bill heads back to the Senate to see if they agree with minor House changes to the legislation. Governor Jindal has issued a state of emergency because of potential flooding along the Mississippi River. But Jeff Grashel with the National Weather Service says we are not expecting the same river levels we saw during the so-called Great Flood of 2011.
The levels that we're having this year are pretty typical. About every 3 years we get to the levels that we're expecting here.
Louisiana Radio Network News.